Good morning, everybody. It's your boy D Mac. So let's talk about this thing. The Constitution needs to be torn down, needs to be destroyed, and needs to be remade and reformed, including everybody. Yeah, exactly. 100%. Because the Constitution is obsolete for the age that we're living in. I suggest that you go and read the Constitution for yourself in its entirety so that you can get a full understanding. It's not that long, and you will be surprised at what's in the Constitution, and you will also be surprised about what's been amended and what hasn't been amended in the Constitution. And so I just jotted down some things that stood out to me and that I would like to address right now. And this will support why I say the Constitution needs to be done away with and reformed. So, first off, in the preamble of the Constitution, and the preamble is just telling you the purpose for this document. And this was in 1789. So, I'm just setting a time frame so you'll understand the mind state of the people who wrote the Constitution. So, the preamble says this: these are the reasons for the Constitution being written to form a more perfect union, to establish justice, to ensure domestic tranquility, to provide for the common defense of the people, to promote general welfare, and to support the blessings of liberty. Now, I'll come back to those each individual ones, and I just wanted to read Article 1, Section 2, because Article 1, Section 2 is the part of the Constitution that deals with taxes that is determined for free persons and each non-white person. It says non-free person in the Constitution, but we know who they was referring to because the only people who were free in 1789 were white people. They said the Native Americans wouldn't be taxed at all because, well, this is their land. And so they couldn't charge a tax for Native Americans, but they could charge a tax for black people because we were considered property. And so we were charged to them as a piece of property. That's where the whole three-fifths of a person concept came from, because they charged each white person who owned a slave um, three-fifths of a person in taxes for us being their property. And I was looking at amendments for this to see if there's any amendments to it. And the only amendment that I came across, it said that all people born to the United States will be considered a U.S. citizen. And then it goes on to state um, they're considered U.S. citizens, but, and this is a major but, you are the amendment says that you, no matter what, if you're a citizen of the United States, you have the right to due process in any form, shape, or fashion. And that's what I wanted to point out right there, because they've fallen sorely in that. How many of us black people have been thrown in prison falsely? How many of us have been shot down in the streets brutally by the police force? How many of us have truly gotten due process? Due process says that you're innocent until proven guilty, but we've always been treated guilty until proven innocent. So that's a lie. That amendment does not apply. That amendment is obsolete and it needs to change. So now I'm going to go back to the preamble and address all of the purpose for this document being created and how it's supposed to protect the people and how it was not meant for us. So the first thing is to form a more perfect union. Well, we know that they were not together with us in unity. They were together with each other, which was whites in unity. So that needs to go. Establish justice. We're still trying to establish justice in the United States. It's gotten a little bit better. We're starting to see some accountability and some people going to jail for their racism and for their well, pretty much, yeah, for their racism, because that's the only reason that they would intentionally, unjustly cage a man or take a man's life without giving him due process. So establish justice. This is something that still needs to happen. Ensure domestic tranquility. Well, if you look at the United States right now, there's absolutely nothing tranquil about what we're going through. People are, I just saw a video last night, shout out to Young Turks, of people who got in a fight in Golden Corral and they had an all out brawl over a piece of steak. So no, there's absolutely no domestic tranquility in the United States. To provide for the common defense, that's kind of a broad thing. It sounds kind of broad to me. I have to do a little bit more studying in what that exactly means. But provide for the common defense. Well, they don't defend us. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody out there in defense of us except for us. Promote the general welfare and secure the blessings of liberty. They put people on welfare, but as far as taking care of the people or making sure that there's programs in place for the people, they call that socialism. And so you have the right wing who deplores socialism, you have the left wing who deplores capitalism. But in the Constitution, it says right there in the preamble, the purpose for this document is to promote the general welfare and secure the blessings of liberty for the people. Now, mind you, when they say we the people here, this is 1789. They're not talking about black people. They're not talking about Native Americans. They're talking about all white people. So these are just a few things. Just in the preamble alone, you can see where America has failed in every single category. If you were to have a report card for America and you went down and checked off each one of these boxes and you were truly honest, you would see for yourself, and there would be no doubt and no question that America has failed in the purpose for the Constitution. Article 1, Section 2, that amendment for it, they have failed horribly in the Constitution. They have failed horribly in all of the things that they said they were going to establish for the people. Okay, so now I'm done with the reading portion. Now it's time for me to go in. I've been preaching this for the longest. The Constitution needs to be destroyed and it needs to be reformed with everybody in the room. Not just white people, but everybody, every large, significant ethnic group in this country needs representation in that room when they redo the Constitution. Because if not, then there's never going to be a true equal Constitution. We the people has changed. That has changed from all white people to now every person in the United States. And they do not distribute the laws and the rules of the Constitution towards everybody equally. They don't. I just talked about due process. We get shot before we ever make it to the courtroom. We get beat down by the police before we ever make it to the courtroom. We get harassed in the streets as if we are criminals and they know absolutely nothing about us. They don't even know our identity. That's why they're coming up to us to check our identity. But they see us initially as a threat and as something that they can kill for free and get away with it. And a lot of times they do. Me and my wife was talking last night about this topic, and she was saying that she do see some change as well, and I agree that there is a little bit of change. There is something happening right now, but I go back to what my man Phonics said the other day. Man, how long are we gonna wait? How much time do we have? And if we keep on waiting, and we're gonna be extinct, they're gonna have to put us on that extinct list. And so I say that now is the time to push for the Constitution to be changed. I noticed that Ice Cube, when he went to Donald Trump, he had a plan for Black America. It was written out. It wasn't that long, about 2 pages, and it has some great points. Those are things that could go into the Constitution. And I salute Ice Cube for that, man. I've always respected Ice Cube's message and his care for our community. But that very well could be our articles in the new Constitution. But nobody saw that. Everybody, Cube going to see Donald Trump. He'll sell out like Kanye. And that's a very small, ignorant mind to say something like that without any knowledge or understanding of what this brother was trying to accomplish. So let me get this right. Y'all don't want Ice Cube to go and talk to the man who could make that possibly happen. So who should he talk to? You know what I'm saying? If our ultimate goal is to get the powers that be in this country, and I'm not saying Donald Trump was the end all be all, but he was the president of the United States, which is a figurehead, but he has some say here in the United States. Um, so why not go to the top? It was okay for Kim to go to the top, but because she's Armenian, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? But any Black person who go up to the top and talk to them on our behalf, you say they a coon? You say they selling out? Are you serious? How else are we supposed to get these things done if we don't talk to the people at the top? Whether we like them or not, whether we agree with them or not, these are the people who have the resources available to make the things happen that we need. But you have some, I'm not going to call names, you have some people out there who discouraged that brother and was so negative about it that he was like, forget it. All right. You can't say that I didn't attempt to do something on behalf of the Black people and y'all would not support me. Y'all would not back me on that. So when things start to fall apart, when you're going through the stuff that you're going through now, just know that you had a rapper, not a Black politician, not any of the people that you support and put in these different positions in political offices, but a rapper and a father and a Black man and an entrepreneur took it upon himself to say, we need this in the Constitution. We need this article in legislation and pass. And y'all wouldn't even support it. But then you'll jump on these platforms and talk about how we need to do this and how we need to do that. We had an opportunity, but we chose to be coons ourselves. Yeah, we was a coon to Ice Cube. Every single one of you who did not support Ice Cube and the plan for Black America is a coon. So you can't talk about Jesse Lee Peterson. You can't talk about anybody that you consider a coon because y'all cooned Ice Cube. Yeah, I said it. What? And so when you look at how we work against each other and how we constantly kicking against the prick, it seems like there's some people who don't want to be free. And I'll tell you why they don't want to be free, because they don't want responsibility of a free person. A free person has to think for himself. A free person has to do for himself. But a slave, all he has to do is wait for his instructions, and he can be micromanaged throughout his whole entire life and don't have no worries, no responsibilities other than what master tell him to do. And some people are okay with that. but there's millions of us that are not. And so, look, this Constitution needs to be revised. It needs to be whatever you need to do, reformed. Go and do some Constitution reformation with all significant ethnic groups represented in that room so that everything is covered and we the people can actually mean we the people. Well, that's pretty much all I really got. That's all I really wanted to cover for now. Um, if anybody want to further this conversation, and I have no problem furthering this conversation with others who would like to explore this. And yeah, but that's all I really got, man. I just wanted to cover that little bit and not give you too much of an information overload. But this has always been my reason for saying that the Constitution needs reformation. We go and we do all of these amendments to the Constitution. How about take all of that out and just redo the whole entire document so we don't need to amend anything? So that's my take on it. You take it for what it is, but that's just where I stand on that. And this is D Mac, man. You know what I say. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but the word can always heal you. I'm out.